Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing the Declasse Drift Walton based on the 1982 to 1993 Chevrolet S10 pickup truck. It's in the off-roads class for some reason, and it costs 1.4 million. But for this week, you can get it for free. At the time that I'm recording this, but you can get it for free up until August 27th of 2025. With that out of the way, the customization is decent, as you just saw right there. You can really go as crazy as you want. I'm really not a big fan of these exhaust options. I feel like they could have been done a bit better. The last two options, if you choose those, you probably won't be able to open uh, the rear. I might settle for the large bore, or I might leave it stock. You know what? Maybe stock looks a bit better, so I'll just leave that on. The body kit, with the body kits, this is where the car really shines, or should I say the pickup truck? Because you really have a fine selection here to choose from. The boxy one, while that one might look weird, I feel like that's based on the older Chevrolet uh, C10 square bodies. I believe it is. I might have butchered that, but the drift kits, that one seems to be based on the GMC Syclone, which is pretty nice to see. Um, it would have been nicer if this body kit was available on the stock version. But anyway, I'm gonna move on here to the grill. Even for such simple grill options, you still have a fine, good selection to choose from here. Um, the grill inserts and the other option here that you're seeing, those are pretty much similar to the stock version, minus the X's on the lights. I might color match it. I might add some of the stickers on the lights, the headlights. Maybe not. For the hood, the clean one just removes the indent in the middle, or whatever you call it, the stripe. I like how the cow induction looks. I might go for that. You also got your carbon, your weird, crazy options here, large turbos, a mixture of all that. Depending on which hood option you choose, it changes the engine model. Not including the super huge, um, those super huge engines right there, as you can see. Since I'm gonna go for the cow induction, for example, the engine model is gonna change from what it is right now, as I'll show you in a bit. For the liveries, I really like these liveries. They're very satisfying to look at in their own way. But personally, I'm not the type of person that always puts liveries. Only on some rare occasions, if it's based on something from real life, then I'll do it. Or if I really like it. In this instance, these are very well made. The resolution and details is good, as I said as well. But personally, I'm not gonna go for any of these at the moment. I like how the day cruiser looks like. That's also a Benny's livery right there. It has a Dinka livery for some reason, which is a bit strange. I don't know what the reference could be, because it's like a Honda, Dinka Honda. The Yokoshima Hama, however you say that, looks nice. I was really thinking of putting this on, but nah. For the wrist spray, I'm definitely gonna do this in black. I really like, black paint, but it's annoying how once you put it on, you really can't see much of the body lines, and the lighting kind of ruins it a bit, right? Because if some areas are a bit dark, or depending on how the sun is shining in the game, like you really can't see the body lines that well. It is what it is. I'm just gonna go for black. For this, the second, you also got like a secondary as well, but I really don't have anything here to change since I have everything blacked out. For the roll cage, since it's already, you know, is a custom truck. I might as well just put on a roll cage. The padded roll cage also adds some padding to the seats, so I'm gonna go with that option right there, the padded full cage. You really don't have that much customization for the dashboard, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's alright. You have some roof scoops here. You also have an aerial on top. I'm not sure what the aerial could be. Maybe it's a reference to Cannonball. Those people that race across the country, stuff like that. You also have your spoilers here. I'm really a big fan of these. I prefer the boot lip, but I feel like the majority of these are crossovers from other vehicles in the game. So these spoiler options are not really unique to this pickup truck. I'd say about half, but they're still good options nonetheless. So I'm just gonna go for the boot lip. I don't really do sunstrip, so I'm probably just gonna skip this part. But these are brands that we've seen a million times. The suspension, when you lower it, it does have camber, but it is what it is. This truck is already pretty much custom, but I'm really not into that, so I'm just gonna skip that. You can add an extra outer roll cage, like a rally setup for some reason. It looks like a fuel cell. The wheels, as much as I like the stock ones, I know what I'm gonna go for over here. I'm gonna change the wheels to something else in the street category. The Nebulas look good, but I want to do something else. And those are the Cup Champion. I feel like they fit this truck very well. I'm also gonna quickly show you through some of the other wheel options that I like as well. Or any other potential wheel options that just look good on this truck. I'm a big fan of the big Mambos. Those look really nice on this. Those seem like a strong second option, maybe first option. The track category also has some pretty solid wheel choices here. The split stars look nice. The speed boys, I really love how those look. If I were to do another build, I would probably choose the speed boys. Maybe the Mambas from the other category. But you really do have a fine amount of wheels to choose from. Depending on what style you're going for, what your personal tastes are. You even have your tire designs here. It's all up to you depending on what you're going for. But I'm just going to leave those off. All that's left for me to do is just show you the window tints. Then I'm going to get out of the garage and I'm going to give you a closer look of the engine model, the interior, and I'm going to discuss the performance more further than that. So I'm just going to go for a light tint, and that's pretty much it for this part. Detail and texture quality is great. I really don't have anything to complain about here. It would have been nice if there was more engine models to choose from and just more customization for the engine. But besides that, the interior's pretty good as well. Some parts are not unique to this truck, but it's what you'd expect for a drift truck, with its seats, the steering wheel, all those dials and those buttons. It's nice that the rear opens, even though it's kind of useless, but it's still a cool detail to have, right? I feel like I did a good job with the customization here. Speed is decent, but handling is about what you expect for a drift truck. It's pretty below average. It kind of feels like a shopping cart with like a broken wheel. That's the best I could describe the handling. But once you get used to it and a full hang of how this car handles, I really don't have any complaints. At the end of the day, it's meant to be fun, right? You're supposed to, drift this thing around. That's why you buy it. That's why it has drift in the name. I did crash it quite a few times, even before recording. And yeah, if you use this in free mode, I mean, you're gonna struggle a lot with quick, tight turns and all that. As you can see, the truck here cut me off. Quite annoying. Not much I could have done to avoid that, no matter how hard I braked. But if you really play a lot in public sessions, I really don't recommend to use this pickup truck unless you're participating in certain modes that require this truck, um, like drift races and stuff like that. But I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about this truck. Just be careful the way you use it, right? You can use it however you want, but it can be quite annoying to use this car when people are trying to chase you and there's nothing much you can do. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. And as always, thanks for watching.